Hi, welcome back to West Coast Geeks. I'm your host, Joaquin. How we doing, people? So today's video is how to help your players tone down their background. This weekend I was at the Ontario Revolution Comic Con, and I was looking for Dungeons and Dragons stuff, of course. No, so I had a list of the comic books that I was looking for and some Funko Pops, and I stumbled upon a D&D group, and I was like, whoa, this is cool. It was a nice little couple hour break of hunting down comics or going to like a lecture or presentation, more of a presentation, I guess. And it was cool. I didn't get a chance to do it the second day, um, but if I could, I would. And also, too, as being a DM, a chance just to be a player and just sit down with some new players and some new people and just have fun. So we uh, we were given these sheets that you see right here, and I just sat back, like I let everybody go through everything, and then I let them just pick whatever they wanted, and then whoever was left, I would end up playing. So I ended up with Alicia Parker Montez, first level fighter. And when you want your player characters to come up with a background story, really try to tell them to limit to like 3 or 4 paragraphs, and they did with this. This is pretty good, but um, I'm gonna show you what they it got carried away, and a lot of I feel a lot of players are motivated and having this great backstory, and DMs like to joke about. They're like, yeah, so at first level, he's already slain a dragon or killed a demon or he's a general. And I'm like, why is he still adventuring then? It's like, if you've done all this stuff at first level, what else is there to do? And that's the whole point of being an adventurer. It's kind of like your character didn't want to follow in the footsteps of their family, or in some cases, they were I don't want to say forced, but opportunities arise where, that's where you have your thief backgrounds, where they were just like, where I'm an orphan or my family was really poor and I wanted to finer things in life. And so you would have those type of backgrounds. So let's just go over this sheet, and I'm going to read it to you. So, growing up in a remote shipyard town without too much of a future, teenage Alicia abandoned her job as a shipwright's assistant to sneak away with a charming long haired sailor. She had no clue she was going to fall in love with that sailor as much as the sailor had fallen in love with piracy. Someone's writing a novel. Okay, I get it. So, Alicia Parker Montez, I like that name, widowed ex pirate, weapons expert. Okay. Returning to land for a new purpose. Gotcha. She's 5'4", elven woman wearing her ex captain's red coat over plain black breeches and shirt. And so she's basically dressed all in black and red. All right, cool, whatever. We all got our own fashion. So, now it goes into a few years later, she was married to the now pirate captain of the Birdcage. So right then and there, I'm just kind of like, you know, I'm looking at her background and what she started talking about developing weapons. So it's most likely she would fall in love with this shipmate who's a gunner of the Birdcage. So a ship outfitted with his cannons of her own design. Again, she's first level, so most likely that wouldn't happen. A loyal wife and shipwright, she developed the weaponries of the ships as well as its relationship and treacherous tactics. Again, she's first level. I'm gonna keep hammering that point. So, you can everybody in the crew, in the pirate crew, is gonna contribute. But for her to just all of a sudden like, hey, I know you're the captain, but I have better ways, and we're gonna do it this way. She dramatically increased their hulls, teaching the crew that the cargo is best taken from standing ships. For years, they'd walk aboard enemy ships peacefully and break into when necessary. So, at this point, I'm like, wow, this is actually would have been a good thief background, like kind of like a fighter going into like a swashbuckler background. Sometimes when she finished, she stepped off these ships without having a clue. Other times she comes sprinting off as the crew riddled the hull with cannon fire. So again, you can kind of dice and chop that up a little bit. Like, you know, she's a thrill seeker. She started to sneak aboard ships, and this could lead to numerous things as a DM. Like maybe she stole something, like a document, or didn't know that there was like a hidden document inside a figure or something. So there's a lot you can do with this. So sometimes after her 30th birthday, the worst happened. Her spouse was lost in the fire of their work. Her spouse was lost in the fire of their work. Okay, so again, we got somebody who's really creative in writing. And so I'm just taking it that they died. They died in a battle. Okay, so this is the part that I also crossed out right here, where it's just like, and due to their unique code of piracy, she was new captain. Um, Anybody knows anything about pirates, and even if you don't, like you haven't read anything, but just watching the movies, um, that's not how it goes. You just don't get you just don't marry somebody, and then all of a sudden now you're the captain. Usually, the captain is just either dethroned, it's mutiny, or yeah, that's pretty much it. Or he dies and he gets replaced. So that part, if somebody came up to me with this, I would cross that out and be like, oh, let's go this route. But I like your ideas, and let's just see where this person goes. But she was in love with her spouse, not her work. Okay. Feeling the pressure of both an untrusty first mate. Now, I did like this part. And weeks of suspicious frequent attacks following the death of her beloved captain, she knew what to do. So, the gunner. That line right there is something as a DM, after I crossed out captain and put gunner, that you could use later on down the road, where she now has this hidden enemy, and she could also maybe eventually, when she's more powerful, run into this first mate and have her revenge for killing her husband. Or maybe she'll finally get the proof, or maybe she don't care, she's going to do it anyways because she thought he did. So there's a little bit you can do, and you can have fun with it, and you don't have to use anything with player's background. I mean, it's nice that you did, because they did put the time in to creating something, but just learn to tone it down, or like reel them in, that type of thing. All right. Invoking her right to leave piracy. Okay. She had to sell the ship to the first mate for a pittance of gold and ownership of her tools and weaponry she had developed. So once again, she's first level. So really, what does she really develop? I would say more that she started developing blueprints, because now she's with her husband, who is a gunner, and he's showing her how it works, and she's having better ideas about maybe shaping cannonballs or artillery, or ammunition to increase damage. That's something you can work with the character later on down the road if they really want to pursue it. Also, this would be a great background for like spelljammers, or if you're going to be doing a lot of sea adventures, right? So she's dropped off at the nearest safe port, hoping to find the parts needed to complete her arcane shoulder cannon, which I'm going to get into, which I really liked. She looks bravely forward to a new life. Cool. Preferably one more preferably one with more order under her rule, like that part, if she has anything to say about it. So you would imply that her love was maybe killed near while they were at port, and she slipped away in the middle of the night. Once she realized she didn't have the allies that she needed, she was like, I got to get out of here. And so she grabbed what little equipment that she could, like her carpenter tools and anything else that she starts with in her plans, and more important, her arcane shoulder cannon, which I really like. So I'm keeping this, because they allowed us to keep this, and I want to make this into an interesting NPC when I get a chance. So that last part right there, you just cut a little bit, and now you've got a nice solid background. She was married. Her husband was killed. He was a gunner. She liked, this is what her developed her into a love that she didn't know about artillery and weapons. That's why she's now a fighter, because now she's first level. She's gained a little bit of experience because she's been in a fight or two. Not enough to put her at second or halfway or anything, but, she's now first level. Here's the part that I really enjoyed that they included. So they have this one section called "Play this character if," and this is for like helping new players get into D&D. So I really like this style, and yeah, I'm gonna steal it. Copyright it, copyright pending, people. And so this is to help out new players, because you can take an example like this and then go to any box set you have and just maybe add a few little things to help characters pick out a character that they like. So it says, play this character if you want to be a pirate at heart, skilled in craft work of long-range weapons, cool, whose serious demeanor from chaotic seas may be changing as she learns what other lands are like. She's skilled with the sword as she is with the shoulder cannon tools are in command. So she's a character that wants to take command. All right. Last part here. Avoid this character if you are looking for a clearly lighthearted character, wants to cast spells, dislikes the idea of being an abrasive leader, or wants characters whose skills lies in things, other than combat or combat preparation. So what they're saying is, if you want to be a fighter, this is a character for you. If you just want to cast spells, if you don't want to take charge, play a take charge character, because that's what she is, then don't play this character. I mean, you still can, but these are like suggestions to help you. And then they have the little bullet points, which you see right here. So, looks to establish a new life using her craft and lead to ensure the safety of what's important. Can inspire her allies to attack on her turn, strikes temporary fear in enemies' hearts with her attacks, and recovers health mid-battle. We didn't have to use most of those abilities. I was kind of looking forward to, but it just didn't come up. Even though we had a character die before I could really use those to help them. Sorry. Not sorry. They're like, shut up, Joaquin. All right, I can hear Eric now. All right, so in combat, she's best close to command and far enough to cover her fire with her cannon. Little magic ability other than the moderate manipulation of existing fire or magical weapons, which is weird because they gave her a cantrip. So I'm not really going to go into the mechanics of what they did and how they built this character, because that's really not relevant. We're talking about the background, and that's, to me, the interesting part. So skilled in craftwork, tactics, carpenter tools, and piloting boats. Cool. And last but not least, so if you made it this far, I appreciate it. If you hit the like button, if you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video. And signature item to wrap it up. Shoulder cannon. 2 interlocking pale but glossy logs, one buttoning against her shoulder, both twisting into a metal barrel at the end, a charcoal black, a black crosshair in the shape of a dragon's eye. That's cool. Helps her with the aim of the 2 shots she's made, so it looks like she's basically made it like a double-barreled shotgun that's on her shoulder. And a single long-range slug or mid-range exploding file charge. So I hope these little tips helped you as new DMs to, just kind of like rein in just players' backgrounds. Like, they shouldn't be that long. And for players just to, just stay focused on what motivates your character, where are they from, and who are the people they know. It's kind of like those 3 things. There might be a 4th, but leave a comment below what you would think the 4th would be. So with that, people, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you later.